for Transmissions from the NX7062. I'm your captain, Stephanie K. I know I'm a minute late. You know why? Because I found some new stuff that Restream's doing. Look how I can round the corners of my screen now. So it works a little bit better with my not so perfectly aligned green screen. Watch, let me see if I pull it down a little bit. See, look how perfect that is. It looks so much better now. And I, for some reason, I'm so much bigger. You can't even see the shirt I picked for tonight. Hello, Dave. Hello, Chris. Thank you so much for joining me, as always. You know what, guys? Dave's skipping Monday. How dare you? I wouldn't mind going from Monday to Friday, though. We could skip, the middle of the week. Just have me on Mondays and then just skip ahead to Friday. I would be totally fine with that. Yes. Isn't it? I like a nicely rounded edge as opposed to the sharp corners, right? So I was hoping to introduce you to one, if not both of the newest members of the family. Lex is a lot more social. Pluto's just getting visiting the downstairs under his paws, but and Pluto actually has been coming in here when I'm working, but haven't seen him. Saw him tonight downstairs, but I don't think that they're going to make an appearance up here. Oh, but Lord Vader himself is all set and comfy on my lap. So anyway, we are here. It is time. It's Transmissions from the 7062. What are we going to talk about tonight? Well, first of all, David Ajala. His first episode of Law and Order is this week. And all I can say is I hope that the reason that they hired him is because they were looking for a British detective to sort of spice things up, because the Brits definitely police differently over there. So I'm hoping that they don't make him Americanize his accent. I'm hoping that they hired him because he's a Brit. Not that I wouldn't watch him regardless, but I'm just really, really hoping that they hired him because he's going to be a British detective. Fingers crossed. Yes, I can't wait either. I think I told you I actually sent him a quickie little Instagram message when I found out, and I said I really didn't think I could love Law and Order more than I do, but then they hired him, so now I really do. And I think I mentioned this before too. I used to do background work before I got a full-time job. I used to do background work in the city, and Law and Order SVU were always, they shoot in New York, and they're always looking for background. I've been background on Law and Order once, and Law and Order, was it Law and Order? Might have been SVU twice. But it was Law and Order once and SVU once. So I have done background on both of them. You couldn't see me in the SVU episode, but I did get to talk to the guy that does those, the actor that does those insurance commercials. Hey, he's Chaos. He's the one that breaks your pipes and crashes through windshields on your car. That guy, he used to be on Law and Order SVU. He was one of the detectives. Anyway, so there's that. There's also something I just found out today that happened yesterday. A very huge happy first anniversary to Connor Trinneer and his beautiful wife, Jackie. For any of you guys that have come to Vegas, you may or may not have seen Connor and Jackie together. Jackie does not usually come on the floor. Although, nope, I take that back. She did come on the floor. I think their last day, I did see her very briefly on the floor. She's usually not on the floor. But I've met her, and together they are so stinking cute. They make a fantastic couple. I am so glad that they found each other, and they've been married as of a year yesterday. So the happiest of anniversaries to both Connor and Jackie, and many, 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 many more. Okay, so that gets all the prelim stuff out of the way. The reason I just kind of wanted to chit chat is because yes, we do have Starfleet Academy. We do have Academy coming out. We have Starfleet Academy coming out. But the other thing that there's two other things that have been circulating. There are two other things. Oh, thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Yeah, this new little graphic thing, it's kind of cool, right? But a couple things have been circulating. It looks like, once again, Star Trek 4, the movie, the Kelvin movie, has been mothballed again. So it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing that in the near future. Although Zachary Quinto, for the Halloween episode of his new show, Brilliant Minds, which is fantastic. I absolutely love Zachary Quinto. I think met Pluto. If you want to come over, that was Pluto. The first thing I ever saw him in was Heroes, and then American Horror Story. Everything Zachary Quinto does, I think, is absolutely fantastic. I loved him as Spock. And there's this really great, I think it's an Audi commercial with him and Leonard Nimoy, which is absolutely adorable, which YouTube just threw at me the other day. It was really cute. So I was going to, okay. So Zachary Quinto has a new show on NBC. It's called Brilliant Minds. And the Halloween episode, at the very, very end of the Halloween episode, he and his friend dressed up for Halloween, and you see them from like the legs down, and you can, if you know what you're looking for, because spoiler alert, I knew that this was going to be Star Trek before this, but he's got the boots, and you can recognize like the kind of the way the pants are cuffed in the boots and kind of bloused over, and she's got like the very edge of her red skirt, you can see it. And they get on the elevator and they turn around, and of course he's in a blue shirt and the Vulcan ears, and then it just, but the beard spoiled it. He's got a beard in the show, and I was hoping maybe he'd shave. But he didn't. So it's like, haha, but the beard kind of threw the whole thing off. It would have just been really cool to just see him as the Spock that he was in the movies. Yeah, at least for now, definitely, Chris, I agree. The Kelvin movies are, which is, I mean, honestly, it's like, I'm sad because I really did enjoy the Kelvin movies. And like I've said before, mostly because they happened after Enterprise. So all of the Enterprise stuff is the same in that timeline. But no, I just love the Kelvin movies. I thought that they were perfectly cast. I just don't know what they would do about Chekhov. I mean, yeah, it's a different timeline. It's entirely conceivable that Chekhov could have died in the alternate Kelvin universe, but it would just be sad to see it continue without Anton, or to see who else could play Chekhov as well as Anton did. So I have kind of mixed feelings. Like, in a way, I'm kind of okay that they're not going to go past 3, but in another way, I enjoyed them, so I wouldn't mind seeing 4. I'm kind of torn. But back to, we've got Starfleet Academy coming out, and I did talk about it on a previous show, and it looks like it's going to be fantastic. But there's been a lot of, I don't know what the word is. It's like, it's not gossip, but there's been a lot of chatter, I guess is a good way to put it. There's been a lot of chatter about something called Star Trek United, which is the brainchild of Mike Sussman and none other than Captain Archer himself, Scott Bakula. Scott Bakula has absolutely said that if they wanted to move ahead with United, he would absolutely come back as Captain Archer, which I think is fantastic. And Star Trek United, supposedly the first time, well, not supposedly, the first time that the two of them presented it to Paramount claims that it was too much like Academy, which is okay. Obviously, we don't know what Academy's going to, but Academy isn't just about Academy. It is about rebuilding the Federation, because we all know that the burn killed the Federation and everything fell apart 800 years, 900 years, I guess, after Enterprise. So we're picking up with Tilly and a new cast of characters in Discovery era Trek. Yeah. Well, the hope right now is that now that there's been that merger, that Paramount's had that merger, that maybe I keep wanting to call it Bad Robot, because that's the only production company I like that's got the robot name in it. I know it's not Bad Robot. I just want to keep calling it that. But now with Skydance, with the merger with Skydance, they're hoping, and a tightened up story, that they're going to probably try and repitch it, because it's going to be Captain Archer. It's going to be the building of the Federation, not the rebuilding of the Federation. And let's face it, rebuilding the Federation, you've got the Federation to fall back on. Like, what it was. So you have a blueprint. You have a very solid blueprint for what you would need to rebuild the Federation. Building the Federation is a different story. Plus, they want to put in elements of the Romulan War. Somebody said something about watching Terra. I guess they were watching Terra Prime, and they saw Trip wink at Archer, and does this mean that what happened in The Good Men Do is now canon? That wink was before that book was written, and that wasn't even the last episode. The last episode is where they talked about killing Trip. Nobody knew what was going to happen to Trip in Terror Prime. You had to get, it was Demon. Terror Prime was next to last. So maybe they forgot about All Good Things. Not All Good Things, that was TNG, sorry. Oh my god. These are the Voyages. For a second, I actually forgot the name of the episode because I don't like it and I haven't watched it. But anyway, so if they make the Romulan, this is their chance. If they do United, then this, and they're picking up with Archer with 4 grown kids. Sussman said he kind of wanted to build it out of where Bakula is. Like, where did Bakula go from Enterprise since, the early 2000s to now? He wants to do the same thing with Archer. Where did Archer go from Enterprise to now? And kind of have them be parallel. So one of the parallels is Bakula's got 4 kids. Archer should have 4 kids. Right. Trip's death was faked, and he joined Section 31. And this is their opportunity to make it canon. More canon than Lower Decks throwing it out there. Because we can't forget Boimler's doppelganger. That's exactly what happened to Boimler's doppelganger. He's in Section 31, which I think would be a great spin-off cartoon if they ever thought about it. Hello, Mike McMahon. That would be a great spin-off cartoon. But that is the first step to making it canon, is that Lower Decks did the same thing with Boimler. So let's hope that, yeah, exactly. Fleshing out the story in the bio completely. Absolutely. Let's do it right. And it will give a lot of people the closure that we never got with Enterprise. Because this is what Enterprise was supposed to be doing, was always Section 31. Come on, always Section 31. Harris. Woohoo! But this is what they were. If they do flashback, I don't care if they CGI and AI flashbacks or something, so we can find out what really happened to Trip, so we can talk about the Romulan War. But then again, the Romulan War could have been going on for 20 odd years. I mean, honestly, I've been reading. I haven't been reading as much as I used to. I'm going to be honest, except on my phone. I've been terrible. So I haven't read all of the Enterprise books. But, I mean, who knows how long the Romulan War dragged on. And the Romulan War obviously probably affected how the Federation was built. Because, when there's a threat to, sort of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but even more so, if the Romulans are threatening entire sections of the galaxy, then, yeah, they're going to band together. So, they were starting the Federation before the threat of the Romulans, but did the Romulan War help? Did it help bring people in to become members of the Federation because they saw the strength in numbers and whatever? So I would love to see if the Romulan War had some sort of effect on how the Federation was built. How many members? Did members come in because of the Romulans? Would they have not? I want to see all of this. Everything that the last seasons of Enterprise were supposed to build on, I want to see it. I want to see it in United, and I think they have a chance to do it, whether it's exposition, whether it's voiceovers, I don't care. I just think that this is their chance to clean up the mess that was the end of Enterprise, as well as give us some new Archer stories. And let's face it, if they're doing this 20 years on, if that's the goal is to do this 20 years on, or 20, 30, 25. We're celebrating, next year is the 25th anniversary of Enterprise, along with the 60th of TNG. If we're looking at this from 25 years on, then everybody can come back. It fits everybody's ages. First of all, Linda Park looks just as good today. Anthony Montgomery looks better. And Connor and Dominic, they've aged appropriately. So, can you be 60 years old and be in Section 31? Maybe you can be 60 years old and be the head of Section 31. Maybe Reed left Starfleet again, and maybe now he's the head of Section 31. Wouldn't that? I think that would be cool, because or maybe he is finally Captain Reed and he's commanding a starship. Who knows? But I mean, and I'm not even saying you have to make them series regulars. If this is supposed to revolve around the Federation and Archer, because that's kind of they're looking to make it more of like a West Wing kind of deal, which I'm not so sure how well that's going to sit with Star Trek fans, but that's okay by me. But they're not looking to make it like anything that's come before it. So I think that they're in a, like I said, that they're in a really good position to do this. And if you center it around Archer, then I think it gives a chance for the other cast members to come back to visit or to help. But they don't need to be there. They can visit. They can be guest stars. Whether Jolene would come back, we all know she came back to do the voice in Lower Decks, but that's a lot different. She did have issues with how she was treated on set, from what I understand. So she had issues with that. Then she also had issues with attending conventions, which is why she stopped doing conventions. So, it may take a lot to get her to come back, but maybe she would come back for an episode. Unfortunately, we all know Saval can't come back, which is heartbreaking, but that would have been really cool because we all know Vulcans obviously have longer lifespans. But T'Pol was only, in her 60s? Did they ever say? I think she was in her 60s. 66. Why do I think she told Trip she was 66 at some point in season 3? So she'd only been in her 80s. She'd still be a hot Vulcan, right? I mean, 80s is what, midlife for a Vulcan? So I would absolutely love to see that happen. And I mean, we're getting to the point where they're, Strange New Worlds, so is Starfleet Academy going to be the only thing out there? Including new fans who have discovered it, Rob, more seasons following cancellation. Okay. Sorry. I was just reading some tracks on my computer just. Okay. All right. I guess I'm back. Am I back, guys? Let's see. So far, the only person they need for STLV is Joan. The rest of the cast. Yeah. Yep. Chris, you're correct. STLV to sell and 2 creations. I'm back. I don't know if you guys noticed. I kind of bopped out and bopped in. My browser crashed for half a second. They announced everybody from Enterprise for the 25th anniversary. And Bakula's already said he was coming. He said he was coming when I was at his panel. And he already said, we're going to do this again next year. So Bakula's already said he's coming. So all they needed to do was throw in everybody else, which they did. Linda comes on off years. She doesn't come every year, but Linda does come. So that's fantastic. I actually have a picture. I actually already have her picture and her autograph. Yay. Forgot I did both. So Jolene, I don't see Jolene wanting to do it. This is my personal opinion. She left, from my understanding, because she was harassed, accosted, something. A fan did something inappropriate. That's my understanding, that a fan did something inappropriate. She was doing it for the fans because she's not in financial need, so it's not like she had to add this to her income. And she was accosted on some level, which is why she stopped. If she was going to even toy with, consider, mildly even think about doing it again, The last place I think she would want to do it is the 60th, where it is going to be wall to wall people in your face. Unless she did it without being in the vendor room. I think if Creation really wanted to get her there, if she was going to do it, this is again my personal opinion, but um if what she's been through is true, like Chris is saying, and this is exactly the point I was getting to. If she came back, it would probably be a panel and then doing signings through Creation, not in the, she wouldn't be in the vendor room. She'd be signing in the auditorium for one session, maybe a photo op, and done. And I have a feeling Creation would really have to beef up security, make sure that there are people around her at all times, because she still looks absolutely amazing. If you follow her on any of the socials where she pops up or people post pictures, she still looks amazing as well. And I think if she was going to do it, yeah. And they always tend, for some reason, to do the enterprise panels on the first day when there's nobody there. I don't think that they could have her come in and not have her do one autograph session. I really don't, Chris. Yeah, very tight schedule. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that they would be able to have her come in and not try to get her to do autographs. You want to keep it tight, charge $1 million for her. Her line will be like that because nobody's gonna, because they'll price her out. But they have been known, and don't forget, and they have been known to take people, now normally not somebody on Jolene's level, but again, if you've got a really good booking agent who's really good at negotiating, and trust me, this is the year that Creation would be bucking for this. They could also put her in a room instead of having her in the auditorium. They could set it up so that she's signing in a separate room, which makes it brightly lit. She'd be sitting in a brightly lit with plenty of Creations, volunteers, and staff, controlling the lines, controlling the line, controlling the number of people in the room. There are ways to make somebody feel comfortable. Kelsey Grammer had a stalker. And when they had him a few years ago at Creation, they really upped the security. They did, I think they were checking bags, which was very unusual. When you walk onto the convention floor, if you're not familiar with how the Rio's laid out, when you walk into the convention center, you're walking down a very long hallway, and then you get to the very large lobby area where the main auditorium is. But that's the only thing there. In order to get to the vendor room, to get to photo ops, to get to anything besides the main auditorium, you have to turn a hard right to get to the hallway that runs down the length of the convention center. That's where you check in with their security there that checks your wristbands. And when Kelsey Grammer was there for the day, they were checking bags because he had some very serious issues. So if they want Jolene, they know how to make her feel safe. I would definitely keep it safe if they priced her like Billy D. His autograph was $300, and that's why I didn't get it. Yeah, Billy D. I got to talk to Billy D. I gave him peppermints. I was giving everybody peppermints. I gave him peppermints. I got to talk to Billy D. But yeah, there was no way I was going to do an autograph or a photo op with Billy D. Yep. George Takei. They did it one year with Patrick Stewart as well. Last year, much for private. Yep. Yeah, it's quiet. They did it. They've done it for Patrick Stewart because that was, I worked that line. That was the last year, I think, that I volunteered. So last year, the next, I don't remember. I've only volunteered for Creation 2 years. Honestly, I don't remember if it was my first or second year. It's probably my second year. Anyway, regardless, Patrick. So yeah, they will put you in a small room, which honestly, I think if I was Jolene, that's what I would opt for. A nice small, Jolene, if you're listening, haha. This is what they should do. She'll sign autographs, has to be in a room, has to be one session. They have to up the security. They have to make sure that she is well looked after. And she might do it. And like I said, especially if all she has to do is come. She does not have to stay on property. Not all of the Star Trek celebrities stay on property. So, or they could fly her in for the day. I believe she's still living in LA. That's a 45-minute flight, I think. Something ridiculously short, I believe, is like a 45-minute flight, give or take. So they could fly her in. She doesn't have to, they can. I'm sure there has to be a back way to get into the convention center. So they could just bring her in the back. She could come on stage. She could do a panel. They can usher her off stage. They can take her to her room. She can sign autographs. And then that's when they would schedule the group photo op. Because I have to tell you, I can't even imagine how much a group photo op, even without Jolene, how much that photo op's going to go for. It's funny. I thought that they lost out by not figuring out how to do it this year. But now that I know that they didn't do a group photo op because Bakula, the timing didn't work, and Connor and Dominic weren't there on Sunday. But now I see, obviously with Bakula coming back, let's see, Connor, Dominic, Anthony, John, Scott, Linda, that's 6. Jolene would make 7. I could see that getting close to $1,000. I could see that getting close to it. I don't know if it would go for $1,000. Back in the day when you used to volunteer for creation, you used to get 50% off certain things, like 50% off certain photo ops. I don't know because I am not a Voyager fan. Probably, but you also have to look at Voyager is an easier get. Like, I think you also have to look at, this is literally probably, especially if they got Jolene. If they don't get Jolene, but they're going to have Bakula, who almost never goes to these. So Kate Mulgrew goes to more than she doesn't. You see Kate does the convention circuit. So Scott doesn't. So you price it on the rarity of who you're getting. And I feel like if you have Bakula and everybody but Jolene, or Bakula and Jolene, they could probably get $1,000 or close to $1,000 because Scott barely does them anymore, and Jolene may only do it because between the 60th and the 25th anniversaries might be the only reason. And now, of course, we're just totally sitting here and speculating, which is totally fine. I got no problem speculating. It's fun. But I feel like that they could charge more for an Enterprise photo op than a Voyager photo op. That's my opinion. I could see Enterprise going for that, or like you said, 1,000. Yeah, like I said, if Scott wasn't in it, if it was just the 5 and it wasn't Scott and it wasn't Jolene, then yeah, I would say, much lower. But if you've got Scott and or Jolene, then it's just the rarity of the opportunity would drive the price up. And I don't know if I have that many friends that I could get together with that could pitch in, because I don't know who else. Dave, I don't know. Could you and I come up with like a couple $100 each just to get in a photo with all of our Enterprise peeps? I don't know. So yeah, I could see it. I could see it going for a lot. But you know what? There's plenty of time to play the lottery between now and next year. So if I win the lottery, I would definitely put some money aside for that, because that would be an absolute dream. So would getting a giant ass suite at the Rio. That would be on my list. Finding out how big of a suite I could get and who I could invite for Riff Tracks parties. Because that's all I'd want to do is have Riff Track. It would just have Riff Tracks and show parties. Riff Tracks actually did Star Wars. They did all 3 Star Warses. I have them on DVD. So but I have them on DVD, and my computer, my tower, it hasn't recognized the CD drive since I bought it. I have to play with it a little bit. I'm hoping, because it hasn't recognized it since I bought it, that it's just a loose connection. I just have to get around to taking it apart and seeing it, because you know what else I have? I have my freaking Rat Pack CD. I have my Star Trek Rat Pack CD that I would love to burn. I'd love to burn it and have it so I can put it on my iPod, because I don't have it on my iPod right now. I just have it in my car, which is fine, because when I run out of, I pay for Sirius, and sometimes I can't even find anything I want to listen to on Sirius, and I'll just hit play and I'll listen to Zindi. That was the other day. I listened to the 60s station and they started playing Windy by the Association. I'm like, no, I want the Jeff Combs version. So I popped in. I turned on the CD and skipped around until I found Zindi on the CD. So that's one thing. That's one nice thing about buying older cars, is that they still have CD players in them. My car has a CD player and a USB, so I get the best of both worlds. My dad's car actually still has a tape deck. He uses. Yes, do you have the Rat Pack CD? It's amazing, and the fact that they threw in I keep wanting to say Ethan Peck, the Ethan Phillips jokes. They got the jokes in between, because some of them I hadn't heard. So the first time I played the CD, I'm like, wait, I haven't heard Ethan do that joke. Had a really nice chat with Ethan after the Rat Pack on Sunday night this year. For those of you that don't know, if you go to Vegas, Sunday night Rat Pack, you should stay, because the minute they're done, you can go up. To the front of the stage. They're selling their CDs, but that's not just it. They're there. You can actually talk to them. So it's always nice to say hi to Max. And I was with Rico Anderson, and he and I just ended up having a really fun conversation with Ethan Phillips, because he's just a hoot and a half. But yeah, those jokes are really good. Gift to someone if they're nice. An extra what? Hard drive? An extra hard drive. Not sure extra what, but I'm nice to you. I am always nice to you, Dave Gregory. So I gave you a coffee mug. Don't forget. Gave you one of my official coffee mugs. Which reminds me, before we get going, the photo up with John, Anthony, Connor, and Don this year, and it was 200. And Linda, yeah, at least 300. But yeah. I think John's going to be more regular now. Like, he loved going into the vendor room. Oh, CD. I have the CD. I just need it audio. I just need the files. If you have the files somewhere and you want to be nice, I would appreciate it. I have to have Zindi on my iPod so I can call it up whenever, like when I'm flying to Vegas. Yes, he is. I love Casey. He's smooth as silk. He's funny as hell too. Spent a little bit of time with him on the cruise. He's fantastic. I mean, they're all great. I love them all. Vaughn's the only one I haven't really chit-chatted with. But Casey, Jeff, we all know I have a lot of affection for Jeff, even though he's a Dodgers fan. He must be really happy. I feel bad. Nicole DeBoer was rooting for the Blue Jays, and I'm like, everybody else is, all of our LA-based people are all happy, and then there's poor Nicole that wanted the Blue Jays to win. But as I was saying, so I love hanging out with you guys every Monday night. It is so much fun to be here and to chat with you. And if you would like to show your support, because we're all just sitting here hanging out together every Monday night. Look, I have finally kind of grown into this hat. This is the official NX7062 ball cap. I mean, you can also get the logo on it, but there is the QR code. All you have to do is scan it. It is on your screen right now, and it will take you to my store, which is part of punkarmy.net, which is the same company that puts together all of the amazing Be Kind merchandise. So if you own any Be Kind merchandise, my merchandise is the same. It's the same quality, those wonderfully soft, comfortable ass t-shirts. I've got water bottles. I've got really nice sized mugs. Water bottles. Oh my God. And the most amazing tote bag that we scoured the internet for. Raymond and I scoured the internet because I wanted a very specific tote bag. And it's great. It can double as a freaking weekender. It's got my logo on it. It will double as a freaking weekender. It's got an inside zip pocket. It is huge. It's like a freaking TARDIS. You can put so much stuff in it. I literally was able to put so much stuff in it. The straps, the shoulder straps held out perfectly. My arm, like I put my shoulder out with how much stuff I put in it, but the bag itself didn't have a problem. My shoulder had the problem. The bag was perfect. It is a fantastic tote bag. Like I said, it's got, well then hold on a second, guys. Who is that? I can't, yeah, come here, Pluto. I think that's Pluto. You want to come meet people? Come here. That's what he does. He sits and complains that he wants attention, but then he doesn't come and get it. But no, this tote bag is freaking amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, it's got a front pocket. Or sorry, it's got a back, like it's got a little back outside pocket, like I drop your keys in. It's got a little. Yeah, it is. It's awesome. It's got a little like a little thing with a clip on it, so you can clip your keys on the inside. I actually clip my one glasses case. See, look, Pluto, Dave's talking to you. I have a glasses case with a hook on it, so I hook my glasses case to it, so I always know where my glasses are. It's got like a little perfect, like for nail glue, and lipstick and everything, and then the rest of it I put my tablet. And I have a tablet and a Surface Pro. When I go down to my booth, my tablet, my Surface Pro, everything fits in that bag. It's amazing. So like I said, it's a bag that you should have and use. It just so happens to have my logo on it, which I would love, but it's definitely something that's incredibly useful. Like I said, I've used it for a tote bag. I've used it for a weekend thing. So yeah, it's a great bag. It's a great and it's a great quality bag. Like I said, I overloaded it so much that I threw out my shoulder, but the bag itself held firm and the straps stayed good. It's got a nice solid zipper. So yeah, highly recommend the bag. But like I said, they didn't have it at Punk Army. But I wanted something very specific. I wanted something that was, I wanted a tote. Like they have like really cute totes for Be Kind, but I wanted something wider. And Raymond and I searched and we found that, and I can't talk about it enough because I just love it, and I use it for so many other things. But yeah, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome, and it's definitely a TARDIS, just like that ship on that one episode of Enterprise, that time ship, where they're like, it's bigger on the inside. Anyway, guys, so let's all cross our fingers that Mike and Scott can make this happen. That this merger with Skydance is. Thank you for scanning the code. By the way, I get to see it on the screen. So thank you so much, whoever just scanned my barcode. I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. So, and don't forget, these hats are really cute and comfortable. See, and then I just lost it. So let's just hope, cross fingers, that we can make this happen. Because I don't think it's going to be too much like Academy. Because Academy takes place like 900 years in the future. And it's about Starfleet Academy. It's not about the Federation. The Federation might be the B story for Academy, but the building of the Federation. Aww, thank you, Dave. I always love the support. I didn't think there was anything that I had that you needed, but that's great. Get the bag. Haha. But yeah, I don't think they're different. I mean, I don't think that they're so similar that they can't run. I mean, obviously not at the same time. Like they can run concurrently. They don't have to run consecutively, but I think they could run concurrently. We'll just space them out. Just space them out. Spring, fall, summer, winter, whatever. Just space them out on the streaming platform. It's not like you have to do it in seasons anymore. And like I said, once we lose Strange New Worlds, we're down there. We're down to one, and it hasn't been one in a long time. So let's see if Paramount wants to keep it at just one show and let Academy carry the franchise, or if they're gonna thank you, Dave, or if they're gonna start thinking of new shows that they can put out there. Oh, gifts! Yes, that's true. It is coming up on the holiday season, and my stuff makes perfect gifts. Makes perfect gifts. So anyway, guys, thank you as always for hanging out with me. I am starting to lean towards my 6 degrees of separation for next week. So next week just might very well be the 6 degrees of separation show. So think of really weird actors. I watched a Dean Martin, John Wayne movie yesterday. First time I've ever watched a John Wayne movie. So I might have to delve into some real Rat Packers and see how easily we can hook up the real Rat Pack to Star Trek. That should be fun. So guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you to no end. I hope you all have a great week. And until I see you again.